Alright, we are finally getting going here. As we come back, we have Strafe versus TAWdlerz. Captains 808 versus Captains Facepalm, as in we are week 4 on Precinct East. I'm joined by Vapor, who I believe is back now.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? Vapor here.
What's going on?
Yeah, I'm loading the server. Well, I'm trying to load the server. What is it?
We are in Shy 4.
Alrighty. This should be a pretty good matchup this week. Taw versus Strafe.
Yeah, it should be interesting. We have Strafe, who's in seed number 2 right now, versus TAWdlerz, who I actually don't know what seed they're in.
I don't believe I think the seedings have changed now.
Oh yeah.
They're still not updated for week 3, but it's fixed now, so head-to-head will be in effect. So Strafe should probably be seed 3.
Okay.
And I think TAWdlerz should be 4 or 5.
Okay. Looks like Ta had to grab his ringer at the last moment, which looks like they have Myson from Chief coming in. So that is definitely some firepower for them.
Yep.
So
that's a good pickup for them because my son used to be on that team, so he knows the ins and outs.
Yeah, so that's a good piece of the puzzle missing. So we're just waiting on one guy. I don't think are we live? 4v5?
It looks like they're playing Pistol live with a 4v5. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. Wait, yeah, 4v5.
Yeah, so we have a 4v5 pistol round. Not sure exactly what's going on. So we're gonna watch Myson here as he comes up right through mid, holds an angle on balcony, peeking over to their arch. We do hear some shots come out. Myson sees the guy at A1, takes a couple shots. Nothing hitting there. We have Randy creeping up in Cafe. And Shell making his way to A right off the bat in case something does happen to his team. Juicebox seconds away from Boy.
Facepalm looking to block Shellshot from getting that cap over there.
Shell does get the frag on A secured as we have a 2v2 808 right above TAWdlerz. Does not see him yet. And they do get the spawn. Shell has to do a little bit of spawn trapping here. Does ultimately go down as 808 is on B about a quarter cap right now.
We're in a 2v3 here. Strafe has 808 and Juicebox up. They're looking to cap B. Juicebox lurking around on the shot. Taw trying to stop this cap. Oh, 808 goes down on B.
Juicebox in a tough decision. 1B. As we have a black screen. Just picks the guy on Facepalm going to A.
I have black screens all around.
Looks like we have a little bit of spectator glitch going on. Juicebox last live. Here's the guy coming. He actually might run into him any second. Ooh, but a last-ditch decision by Myson to not go into that door, as they have the stalemate here.
What needs to happen right now is Boy needs to go to C and work on that cap, and Myson can just sit in cap A. Looks like he just made that decision. He's going towards C now. But Juicebox is going to have to look for this kill, and if he gets it, it'll be too late. And he does
getting the kill.
So it looks like Strafe's going to come out on top in this one.
Yeah, he's half cap on A, as Boy is just getting to C.
Oh, wait, no. I was wrong. Yeah, he's got to go to B. He's got to at least get it moving. Oh, no, he's indecisive. You just got to commit to one Juicebox.
Finally makes it his mind and gets on B. Let's see if he caps it or takes on the C guy, as Boy is about a half cap on C.
He probably should have just gone and made C or made B blink and then gone back and finished the A cap. But it looks like he's just gonna go for the B cap, which still should work, I think, here.
Yeah, interesting play. This will be interesting. As Juice is about 75, he should get this cap as he is looking from their arch right now.
Strafe is gonna have to get on C fast here.
Man, this is a 4v5 right now. Not sure if they are gonna get a 5th player. Juicebox does get the frag and the cab, reses his team, not knowing my son is right bottom on balcony, peeking around the corner.
Yeah, Juicebox has to keep him off of B. If they cap B, it's over. There's no one defending C.
So they have 3 guys on C.
They need to move to B. There needs to be one guy on C, and the rest of them need to move to B. Now, Strafe is slow and sluggish to move on this. A lot going on there. My son getting 3 kills. I guess Strafe just all walked through the archway. Yeah, that was...
What a pistol round. Almost going out to a draw. Holy cow, as that was a 45. As we'll see
Yes.
which side they end up picking. Holy cow. My
Taw
son picking up
playing
5 kills.
4v5 here. Yep.
Juicebox getting 4 in the cap.
Yeah. Taw did pretty much everything right there. And Strafe was super slow to make decisions, and it was super uncoordinated there. That was the issue.
Yeah, the 3 guys on C at the last second there is not
Yeah,
the ideal
they did not need
move.
4 people going C off of spawn. They needed someone to go help Juicebox at B, and Juicebox needed to just hold B.
So as we start our match, we'll see who picks where. Security being the ideal stronger side in this map, or believed to be, which I assume is what TAW is going to take first, which they have chosen to take. We're still in a 4v5, so it looks like they're unable to find a ring, or they're just down a guy.
Well, they can only have 1 ringer, so...
Oh, okay. So they are down a guy, unfortunately, for this match.
Yep.
So they're in a bit of a handicap. See if they can prevail 45, but it would not be easy. They did get some serious firepower adding in my son, so let's see if that's enough.
My son is a player from Chief, which is one of the top teams. My son is known as one of the better players in the scene.
So we're gonna watch Randy from the start here. I kind of see where he is playing.
This should be a breeze for Strafe playing a 5v4, but then again, TAW is starting on the strong side, so who knows? If they played smart and safe, they could catch Strafe out on overextensions here if they're playing overconfidently.
So Randy rushed back. Here's the guy next to him, I believe. Looks like he's going for the cover on Shell as he flanks A. Boy and 808 are next to each other. Did not know it.
Facepalm making the aggressive play of getting on B early. Strafe is going to have to stop this unless they want to give up a free cap.
Shell does counter and going to A to counter cap, as we still see Facepalm capping right next to Sandbags as 808 does go down to Boy in apps. Boy getting another pick onto Dankster.
Strafe opting to go for the trade cap here, which is alright, but...
Randy is holding A Street, keeping Shell alive. Misses that frag, but does pick it up on the Facepalm. Getting the refrag. As Shell does a 1v2 on A now. Does get picked by Eye of Horus. As we see Boy getting on C. And Randy in a 1v3 situation.
Tough situation for Strafe here again. They're overextended. They're not playing the numbers game as they should.
Randy trying to work the stalemate, trying to find that guy through the walls. No luck there. Hops off, so we do get a clear on A. Trying to clear as many angles as he can. Doesn't realize that he is actually behind the counter in A on the other side of the wall here, as you see Horus.
Randy's got to kill this guy. He's already wasted too much time. Yep.
And he does get that final frag onto Randy, trying to make the play, as that corner is a very safe spot to hold.
It looks like Strafe is trying to play this like it's a 5v5 still, and they're not taking advantage of the lanes that TAW has to leave open. There are more than 5 lanes on this map, so you always have to leave lanes open. And with only 4 players playing them, Strafe should just find a hole and be punching through it and going for flanks and preventing that B cap. All they have to do is get 1 pick, and they're instantly in a 5v3. They need to play the numbers game.
Yes, they really need to change something up. They can't keep the same 5v5 situation, especially with a handicap in their favor. So we're going to go ahead and watch Dankster this round. See what his routes are, where he goes. I believe he is a apps player.
Yep, looks like he's heading up there.
As there's going 808 getting picked from Myson from the dark window cross. As Dankster tries to get the refrag, which he does onto Myson, getting the refrag.
That's all Strafe has to do. 1-for-1 trades. That's all they need to do. They'll win every time. Dankster almost getting picked through the wall there. Pretty aggressive wall banging from, I think, Facepalm.
Trying to find the guy Dark, which was called out, as we see Horus and Boy working together, pushing apps, as his Juicebox just holding the one angle.
Boy's down in jail. Horus is in apps.
Well, and getting Dankster Randy, getting the refrag onto Facepalm, as Juice is still holding the position here, which is good. I have Horus taking on Shell. We're in a 2v2 situation.
Now Juicebox knows where he is, so he should be able to get this trade. And he leaves. Oh.
I have Horus taking down Juicebox in the hole as we ran it in a 1v2 again. Deja vu round 2, as we see. trying to get that van pick as you know he's still on the cap. He does not know we have an A4 player looking down, trying to give him support.
Doesn't realize he's right on the other side of that van. He has an idea, but he can't see him.
Randy in a tough spot. Those go down to Eye of Horus, who was an A4. Not an easy 1v2 from that spot for Randy. As we see with 2-0 coming out.
They started out right, playing the trades and playing with each other, and then they started giving tall 1v1s, which is exactly what you don't want to do when you have the advantage. Every person should have someone covering them in every situation, setting up crossfires and support positions, because they have the numbers, and they can afford to lose one person as long as they immediately trade them.
Yeah, that's right. As we try to see Shell taking the same routes around to A, which would be a good help. But losing the fights A Street, as we try to see that support out of them. We're going to watch Facepalm this round. As we see him picking up 2 kills so far.
Looks like Strafe is going to play straight on the base, which it doesn't work out, as Facepalm is free to run around Cafe with no contest here, so he's going to get shell as he runs out onto B.
So as Facepalm slowly works on B, we see Boy take out 808 in apps, as Juicebox in a 1v2 apps now. Thanks for picking up Eye of Horus. So we have 1v1 apps, we have My Son hanging around Dark Window.
Boy looks like he's about to make a play for C.
Thanks for picking up Facepalm. So we're in a 2v3 for TAW.
My Son and Boy are very split up, but Boy's just going to step on C here. That's a smart play. And in reaction to this, Strafe needs to get on B. But My Son is still lurking around, so they need to make sure they're still covering their players. My Son spotted Dankster for a second. Dankster needs to make sure he doesn't run out in front of My Son, and he does.
My Son picking the S1 player as we have Randy on B. They know they're in dark. They did call it out as he hears Juicebox flanking A. As they're in a corner peeking battle right now. My Son and Juicebox. Let's see if the patience prevails, which it does. Juicebox picking My Son. He's able to go A now. But we see Boy picking up the cap on C. So Juicebox is going to be in a tight spawn camp.
Let's see if Juicebox can get a few kills here. All he needs is 2 or 3 picks and to stay alive, and Strafe should have this round.
In a 1v2. Randy coming for the support out of the spawn. Let's see if he's able to provide any support there.
Boy, getting a double kill off spawn. Strafe just running out, stacked up on each other. Bad mistake from Strafe here.
Horus has a stalemate on the juice box. We have a 1v1 Boy and Dankster right now on C. Randy getting the pick on the My Son. Boy taking out Dankster on C as we see a 2-on-1 A. Let's see if they're able to capitalize on this. Eye of Horus does hear the flank.
Boy's just gonna go step on B here.
Pulls the pin. Tosses the nade. He hits him with it. See if Juice capitalizes on it.
This
reposition.
Is a huge blunder from Strafe.
Horus.
Wow.
Winning the 1v1 on Strafe onto A. Looks like there's some lack of communication coming out of Strafe.
Just running out of spawn, not playing it safe. They know there's a guy at C, and they just ran out holding hands.
Let's see if they're able to learn from their mistakes there, as they do have the advantage here. Security shot is stronger, but a 45 you would think would be hindered.
Really had that round in the bag, and they just threw it away. That's all there is to it.
So we're going to take a peek at My Son this round, who looks like he's been holding Dark Window for a bit. Let's see what he does here.
Yeah, My Son and Boy really getting a lot of... actually, it's Eye of Horus. Eye of Horus and Boy getting a lot of frags for the security side.
Yeah, so we're actually going to take a peek at the apps people here. So let's watch Eye of Horus as he looks like he's been rushing apps and winning his gunfights.
Using that EBR with iron sights, it's a tough choice, but if you can use it, it's really effective because the iron sights are fast.
Eye of Horus creeping up. It has a feeling there's someone else, but there typically is somebody hiding here, as we see Dankster going down in A3.
Dankster, if you see on the x-ray, he's not even aware.
TAW coming out 3 kills in a row, 3 frags. Shell does get the refrag onto I Have Horrors. We're in a
3v1.
3v1 again, as we
Just
see
like
Juicebox.
that. Juicebox probably playing too passive here. Strafe is... They're playing to counter what TAW is doing and trying to play passive instead of being the aggressors. They're playing into TAW's game rather than controlling the game as they should with a 5v4 advantage.
He doesn't see the guy on balcony. My son getting the frag on a Juice and Arch. Head camp being a deadly tactic. As we have 4-0 lead for TAW. Let's start this game. Surprising 4-0 lead, even though being down 4v5.
Yeah, I think Strafe is trying to play too safe here. They need to put the pressure on TAW.
Yeah, something has to change, I agree. Let's see if they can communicate it through and figure out what they have to do to change up their strategy. And hopefully get a couple wins on this Insurgency side so they have a strong lead, or at least a couple rounds as they switch to the security side. Even a timeout or something might be able to help the team. But TAW performing very well in the 45 despite being down. So we're going to take a look at Facepalm as he pushes through Cafe, or actually holds the angle, watching the door.
Anyway, it looked like he's playing a jail aggressively here. Enemy's walking past him. He's sound horn. We're gonna see a free kill here. Oh, it looks like the server's going to hell. Everybody's ping is jumping around.
Uh-oh. This is
Shell's
capping
capping
on
A
A.
up. Juicebox gets a frag and apps.
Boy, here's the action up there. It keeps looking A4, hoping that guy will eventually peek out. As Juicebox is very close to it, so if he does peek, Boy will get the kill into him. Doesn't see a gun barrel yet, but he might in a second. As my son
Randy
is on
hiding
balcony.
and capping B, forcing TAW to make a move here. My son's lurking up. He doesn't see him on the sandbags. If Randy doesn't move, he might not see him.
His vision is based on movement. Does get killed by Boy, though.
Oh, Boy kills him from behind.
Unfortunately, as Boy steps down and clears, doesn't pick by Juicebox. Is with a stalemate on A again. Looks like Juicebox and Facepalm. So we're in Deja Vu on A, as 808 does pick up the cap on B, 75%. As we see my son probably in the balcony, which he is.
My son might not know that they're on B here. Looks like he's figured it out. He's got to drop down and block this, and it's too
So
late.
we do get the cap, as we have a 5v2 situation. Shelsha
I
holding
don't
the
think
stalemate on
Strafe
A.
knows that he's there, so my son might be able to walk up behind him and get 2 free kills here.
He might, if he's quiet. But we see my son lurking onto B, holding S1, as it does look Arch sees the guy for a second. Gets the frag on the Juicebox. But does get refragged by Randy from Arch. As we see the 2v1 on A, we're going to take a look at Facepalm to see if he can pull us off. As it is not Shellshow and 808 working together to get the final kill as they get their first win of the game, or first round win, as we are 4-1 TAW lead.
That's a much better job by Strafe. They actually used support positions, and they had a B player on B, and they covered him, or at least traded him. That's all Strafe needs to do, and they'll win every time. But they're just giving TAW 1v1s all across the map, and that's why they're struggling so much.
And when they're able to 2v1 them on a point, which they can do with his handicap, as we saw work there, that should be the strategy throughout. So hopefully Strafe is able to keep figuring that out. But we'll take a look onto Boy, as he has a great kitty, 8-1. So Boy doing work this match.
Yeah, Boy, a relatively new player to the scene. I think he started playing either at the very end of Season 1 for TAW for You, I think that's their team name, and got picked up by the TAWdlerz for Season 2.
My son getting the early frag on his Shellshow, Dankster fragging Horse, Facepalm refragging Dankster. Let's see my son in dark again, Randy in their Arch. Juicebox and Boy are sort of close as he creeps up the stairs. 808 has an angle underneath at the door.
Wow. Juicebox loses a fight that he really should have won onto Facepalm. He saw him first and just lost the gunfight.
Randy knows there's a guy Belk, but they are also on B as we see... Well, they're not on B, now they are, as we see Facepalm on top of the tents. My son getting the frag onto Randy in the Arch as we have a 1v3 for 808. but does get
Man.
picked by Facepalm. As we have a 5-on-1 from TAW.
TAW putting on a clinic right
They
now.
are performing very well, again, despite the circumstances. As we move on to round 7 with 5-1 lead for TAW.
Boy has only died one time. That just shows you how effective of a player he's being. He's just lurking around B and getting picks, and Strafe, they're just not controlling the map. They're not looking out and getting trade frags. They're not covering one another. They're just walking around the map like it's a pub server.
Yeah, it's a lot different in the DGL match. As we're going to take a peek onto Xiao this round. Watch him to start as we see him doing the A flanks coming out for his team, trying to res them when they all die. Looks like they're doing a mid play as we see the smoking thrown over the arch. A little late, but they managed to get through despite. We're going to see 2 early rushes going Cafe as we see 808 right below Arch. Thanks for getting the Falco onto Facepalm.
This is good map control from Strafe right here. If you look at the map, they've got control of pretty much everything going on here. The only thing they have to worry about is Myson flanking through Cafe here, but they probably will hear him eventually unless he slow walks all the way.
Agreed. As we see, they're about to say 1v1 juice box in the staircase. Those are on the boy as he's going to push up through abs. Hopefully, Dankster can refrag it if he's quiet, which he is. So if he does patience, it should
Strafe
prevail.
has to be primed, so they don't need to worry about. Oh, they cap it back up, and Myson looks like he's about to get the kill on Randy flanking. Hopefully, he's not able to get 2 of them.
Dankster does get boy as we're in a 4v1 match on down balcony. He does get the frag on the Dankster coming into B. They're going to know he's capping, but does get fragged by Shell, who I believe was in Dark Window, which it looks
Much
like.
better job by Strafe getting control of the map there.
That was about different plays. You saw the smoke over Arch in the gang, allowing Strafe to get position on a B, which is what they need to do, is just throw them that curveball, get map position, and beat them.
Yeah, TAW probably is going to come back with a nade for the Arch choice. That probably won't work again, but hopefully Strafe can have the same idea of getting out and getting that pressure on TAW, so TAW is, and finding TAW's weak spots on the map. Let's see how TAW adjusts to this.
Yeah, has TAW really changed their setup? I don't think they have much of this game.
It seems like they've been doing pretty much the same thing. Boy's just kind of lurking and punching through different holes in the map. It seems like he'll go into B through jail. Sometimes he'll go C side based on what's happening. TAW seems to be doing a very good job of dynamically responding to what's happening to their teammates.
Okay.
Facepalm looking into apps early, but
So it looks like they
oh,
did.
wow, out on the B again.
Booth Game runs the same play, smoke over Arch as they push through. Myson just gets the frag on 808s, and then Juicebox fragging off Facepalm. See Juicebox in abs, does go down to Eye of Horus as we're in a 3v2. They're holding the abs, does get the frag on Eye of Horus, winning with 3v1. Boy, last alive behind Van as he creeps up on the B. As they are going to cat B, I would assume.
Gets him through the smoke. Wow, that must have been a client-side smoke issue there.
Yeah, something like
still-
that.
There's still 2 Strafe members, and all they have to do is tap B. And Boy gets on. They're going to have to kill him now. Randy in a prime position to do it. He does not see him. He's right in front of him. And
Does get the
finally
wall
gets
bang.
kill.
Is that through the van, it looked like?
No. He was on that side of the van.
Oh, I
Randy
see.
just didn't see him. He was shaking his mouse around in frustration at the end. I'm sure his teammates were yelling at him. He's right there.
You see
Shoot
him, forehead.
You see him. I'm sure that's always a frustrating thing. And when you're in the moment, you start panicking when people are yelling at you that there's an enemy on your screen and you have no idea.
Well, we see a couple of side rounds out of Strafe. Let's see if they continue to do that play while it works. TAW failing to counter that mid-rush. Let's see if they know how or they reposition.
I wonder what Facepalm's going to do this time, because last round he was in a perfect position to counter it in the dark window, but just didn't look at the archway, and someone ran right under his screen. You can see if you have the X-ray menu on.
Yeah, I'm going to have to turn that on here in a second.
You just press X.
And we have X-ray vision, everybody. We are finally doing this the right way.
Facepalm doing a cafe rush to counter this, but Myson frags 808. They officially countered that rush. So now we're back to 4v4.
TAW goes on Juice, but as they're doing a hard A play with Randy as the guy supporting A Street. He does go to Cafe, though.
Randy and Dankster getting 2 frags there, so we're in a 4v2 all of a sudden. That's the advantage of having a 5v4.
My son holding dark window, as he might not see anybody if Randy doesn't pop out. But we see Boy pushing up apps. He's won a fair amount of his gunfights, so this is in his favor. Doesn't see him prone. Just... Oh, Juice turning around. Prone box, as he's known by his nickname, prevailing.
Bro, that is one way to cover your teammates and hold them.
So my son,
like,
in a stalemate, doesn't know exactly where he is. Being very loud and jumping around the shots, does get the frag on the shell show as he whiffs a few shots.
That's one of the disadvantages of having a
2x,
and
yeah.
using a gun on semi-automatic. It's great for long range, but
it's hard short range.
Like that, you should not lose.
But then my son, being heard up in dark window, unaware that there was a guy in S1 able to hear them right behind them, as Randy turns around and gets the frag onto him. As we are a 5 rounds for TAW, 4 for Strafe, seeming to shake off the nerves and pulling their stuff together as we are 1 round away from halftime.
Yeah, if we take a look at the scoreboard here, we got Boy and my son really fragging out for TAW here, and there's not really someone taking over the game for the Insurgent side here. 808 there at the bottom, the team captain with 1 frag.
Yeah, but having a rough few rounds, it looks like, but looks like he's the man throwing his smoke, which is actually getting his team through B and getting a better position. So this man is taking one for the team by not taking a frag grenade.
That's true. He's also using the flanker class, which is really hard to get kills with sometimes.
It is. So we're going to watch him throw this smoke as he whips as high as he can, allowing his team to get on B. As we see 3 guys going there, Arch. Or see my son popping right through. Looking for the cross. He's already passed him. Shoots 808 as he tries to slide into S1. We see them repositioning now as we have the 1v1 between Facepalm and Randy. We're actually on top of each other. I take that back. Juicebox holding the apps angle.
Shellshow going for a flanker on C this time. He got the kill onto Horus.
My son gets a frag grenade onto Dankster. Shellshow doing the long flank. Randy is trying to throw a nade into Cubby, which they're actually got close to Cubby, which it almost hits Boy. But
Randy
he hears
needs
it coming.
to stay alive right here. He does not need to give up his life for free, and he does. He was in the only support position for B as Juicebox is playing for himself an apps right now. And now TAW's free to get onto B.
Well, Shellshow hauling ass to A to res his team. Juicebox can stay alive. This would be a huge asset for his team as he hears the guy Van.
Oh, and he falls.
It's a risky climb. Shellshow in a 1v3 right now. Let's see if his ears will save his life.
Oh, that was a lucky kill there.
Oh my God! Shellshow turned the corner, getting both the kills. But he's
can he 1v1 out of nowhere?
Oh, well, can he do it again? As we see Boy capping B, Shellshow is gonna have to make the play of his life.
I'm sure Boy's gonna go spawn trap.
If he can avoid the nades, he should be able to get the res. Which he does, as he frags one on his team, holds off. Let's see if I have Horus coming with the flank. Will Shellshow be able to hear this man coming? Fortunately, does not.
Strafe doing a better job of becoming safe out of spawn this time. They know there's not a player on C, but they're sure there's one spawn trapping somewhere. And
Boy, picking off 2.
Boy gets 2. Doing an incredible job over there on those lurks and spawn traps. Strafe just playing too close together again.
Dankster is actually going through back to Cafe to try to support Randy on B. As Randy does get the kill on the balcony. So they have a chance to either double B or stop A. It's risky to stop A because he's going to hear them. But Horus
moving towards A. Oh, he saw a head there.
Sees his head. Oh, he does get the steal after the cab, unfortunately. Dankster has to win. Or go for the quick spawn kill as it does get fragged. Rain does get the recap, though. Dankster does spawn.
Dankster just needed to stay alive.
But if they cap C in overtime, that is the round. As we see 6-4 TAW prevailing in the 4v5 half. My son, top fragger with 18 kills, definitely putting in work as the ringer. As Strafe,
really impressive from TAW here. 4v5s are really hard against an organized team.
It is not an easy thing.
This is also, I'm sure, very demoralizing for Strafe.
Yeah, but we saw them get a couple rounds after going down 0-4. That is something to think about. The pause coming out from Facepalm. So they're either going to talk some strategy, take a bathroom break.
They could also be getting a ringer in, or one of their members in if you had to join late.
Can they still do that after the game starts?
I believe they can. You can sub people at any point.
Oh,
So
they might be getting a 5th player, which would be hard for Strafe as they already 4-6, but we will definitely see. As we'll see, they're frozen for a couple seconds, maybe minutes.
Actually, I should be metering.
Welcome, Heaven. Welcome, Cyrus. Hi, Zazzy. Hi, everybody who's been in the chat. Sorry, we've been focusing on the match,
Very powerful.
as it's been an interesting one. We've seen a couple 4v5s come out this season already. Equitas versus Strafe a couple weeks ago, and now Strafe versus Ta. For some reason, Strafe keeps having these 4v5s.
you'd think they'd be better at them by now.
You'd think they learn a little bit, but we see them having a little bit of a struggle.
I know that Strafe does pretty well in scrims and 5v5s. It's maybe they have a middle block in 4v5s and they just play too nervous or too scared.
It is something different having them change up their strategy a little bit, but we did see them adjust to the smoke plays, which was nice, which just threw Ta for a loop, as they did counter one of them toward the end there. So let's see if Strafe prevails on the stronger side, or if Ta does the unthinkable and wins a 4v5 from an insurgent side.
That will be really impressive. From this was a very security-sided map, so it's more reasonable for them to do really well on security side, but insurgent side, that will truly be a feat, and that will be something to be proud of for sure if they can do it.
It would. As Shosho asked the question, they are indeed getting a 5th player. So Ta is going to be coming in full strength as we move into the second half here.
4,000 Black Dragon runs. King Black Dragon runs to get the pet. That took me
So it looks like they do get their 5th, which is Muzzle, who has came in to help out. Hopefully he's able to keep the vibe going for Ta and doesn't throw them out of their sync here. As we're starting the second half, as we see Myson. Oh, that's just a glitch. We see Myson in the middle of the map, but it looks like it's fixed now. And we're just waiting for a lore, it looks like.
Oh, RuneScape 3 though. I haven't played that one.
I haven't played RuneScape 3 in a while.
Oh, okay.
Right now it's mostly old school.
That's good, yeah.
I mean, maybe there's an AFK or something. Looks like all the members are spawned in. Maybe they're just going telling Muzzle what spot he needs to play, because I don't believe Muzzle's actually on their roster.
Oh, so he might be illegal coming into this, as like it looks like they're checking over the rules, maybe, or something is quite going on, or we're just still not live and we're waiting. No types coming out of anybody.
Yeah, Muzzle is on the 2 for you roster, but I don't think that really matters. I'm sure that Strafe said it.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal. At this point in the season, with the limited amount of teams, you kind of just want to play.
Mm-hmm. All right, as we
'Cause
start the second
I'm
half.
actually surprised that Strafe allowed my son to be a sub for Saw or a ringer.
Agreed. He's an excellent player and has shown this game, putting up 18 kills.
But boy, not to be overshadowed, going 15-4
At
and
all.
a 4. They've only lost the rounds that he's died in.
Yeah, boy, having a stellar performance here. As we see 808 rushing onto B right away to get the early cap. See Dankster coming on to a rushing an F, getting flanked actually, not realizing it from Muzzle. Coming in strong. Shell playing under hold. 808 is half cap on B though.
There's no one supporting B right now. Randy's in dark window, but he's not covering his teammate on B.
808 is
Now he's
stalemate.
starting to do so.
Let's see if they're able to find it. As we see Shell in the middle of nowhere, in the out of bounds zone, flanking C for his team. Where
the
is this
spawn.
man at?
Wow, what a play from Shell. This is actually going to put Taw in a very tough position here.
It is, as we see a Myson and Horus in a 2v3, as B is 85%, but they are clearing.
Never mind.
Well, big pickups for Ta as they frag out against them. Then we have a Shell single capping, but they do have a long decap. Let's see if they communicate and one of them does go A, or if they decide. Looks like they're a little confused on the kill count. Oh, they finally do communicate as we see Myson sprinting to A.
Yeah, this play from Shell, while good, It kind of could hurt him, because if he would have just wrapped through and flanked B and gotten a kill or two, this round would be over already, and they wouldn't have had to do the trade cap.
My son throwing the frag for the spawn kills. Unfortunately, does get juice box. It does frag on the Dankster, so it is 2 kills for my son. Let's see if he can prevail and get this cap.
So Granny's coming to block, but there's no way he gets through this doorway.
My son gets the 3rd kill. Clicks. There is no more ammo in that man's gun, but he does get the cap as Randy tosses in the nade and starts the cap on his own. As we see Shell Shell trying to do the same as we see my son just do. Randy with the stalemate onto A.
Shell Shell, that 2x and Timmy almost made him lose a kill again. He's got a good flank going.
Shell Shell loops this guy. Does get the double kill, so he will start the cap himself, but they are about to get B. My son does get Randy.
Yeah, Shell Shell's in a hopeless position here. Strafe, they giving up rounds. They're just not supporting their teammates. They're playing as individuals, and there's no team play here.
Oh, hey, that's the one.
This map is very support heavy. You need people in the windows and apartments. You need people on the balcony. If you have a player on B, he cannot be killed. You have to protect him at all costs, or else you're just giving up a player for free, and it's super hard to rotate from those support positions onto Bravo.
Agreed. Let's take a look onto my son as he has 24 kills in the 11 rounds. This man doing work as he pushes A Street, hoping for the early frag. Does trade actually on A Street. We see Randy getting the pick onto Face Street as we have a 4v3 coming in for Strafe.
Strafe in another advantageous position. They need to close this out. You have to close the rounds out where you're a man ahead. But look, if you look at their setup, no one's protecting anyone. They're all set up to take 1v1s. Every single one of them. No one can trade one another. No one can help one another.
Thanks, sir. Here's the footsteps. Let's get the frag on the muzzle. Let's see if he is called out, but he has room to move as we see Boy looping around C. Going into apps lower as we see I-Force holding A3, trying to look into A4. The whole room, my bad.
Juicebugs prone on C side. He's useless right here. He needs to be on C or he needs to be helping B. There's no point in sitting and waiting for a flank. They have a 4v2. They need to play together.
Thanks for losing the frag, or winning the frag on the Boy, my bad. Thanks for pushing apps. Is shot at, so should be calling out that he is in apps. They should have a kill count, and Juicebox should be pushing. Looks like they are lost on the kill count, as nobody is even on B yet. I-Force looking on the app as Dankster barely misses him calling down the steps. Looks like they are lost on communication, as nobody is really moving. They do not know how many kills they have right now.
Yeah, they must have missed a kill. They must think this is a 4v2.
But nonetheless, I-Force.
Someone needs to get on B and put pressure on. I-Force looking to make that, to stop that, because he's rotated all the way to the arches.
Might have seen the guys head there through Van. They know that he's on. He did the head, I believe, as we'll try to get the frag. Let's see if he times it right. So it's like Dankster can look away in time. Oh, he's get frag. Does he know where it came from? 808 does see the man and does get him T1 from Belk.
Much better from Strafe there, but you see Juicebox still on that street. He's useless there. He needs to be playing with his team. Because if he loses that 1v1, that opens up a huge flank and lane for his teammates, and there's nothing they can do to trade him off.
Yeah, lack of communication, lack of knowledge, lack of kills. Did you get the round win in the end? But there definitely should have been some plays happening a little sooner for Strafe. But as you see, win, we are 5 on 7 right now.
It's okay to play it the way they did too, just waiting, sitting and waiting. But if you're going to sit and wait, you have to be ready to trade, and they were not.
No, they were not.
Luckily, they barely were able to find that trade on B there, because they just had so much time to get so much map. If that play had happened sooner, it could have been a completely different game.
So let's take a look onto Shell Shell as he tries to get a higher hanging on this little back balcony of A, trying to look through A Street because of how it went last time. As we see nobody there, we're gonna take a look at the muzzle pushing through apps. Juicebox going to the same spot, holding that street.
808 crawling across the balcony. Let's see if this gets punished. They can hear him crawling, so maybe he'll get spammed through the door here. And they're just gonna have a standoff here and stare at each other. 808 and Boy. Boy being very patient. I'm sure he's waiting for 808 to shoot at something. Oh! Nade onto the balcony.
Dankster does get the frag on a muzzle. So we have a 5v4.
And
Oh,
Boy
Boy just
comes
pushed
out on the
through.
balcony and gets the kill. Randy needs to refrag this.
Randy
and
did
he
call
does.
him
That's
out.
a great job by Strafe there.
Gets the refrag on a Boy as we see Dankster
But
push up.
they're gonna get the
through
recap.
A3. Is called out, but they
Strafe.
do get the cap as he still made it. Here's the guy's van. Hope they can frag him quick enough. Randy actually
Shell
doing it for him. As he
Shell
face
shell,
bomb.
one trap in here. Let's see how many he can get. There's
Fragging
one.
from A3. Breaks his legs, gets killed. My son trying to support from spawn window, it looks like. As we see Juicebox coming on to see. Will Randy see the guy A2? As we see him
He's
chucking
tossing
a nade.
And he throws
He
it to the
doesn't
wrong side
see
of
it
the
go
objective.
over, but he hears it. And this
He knows
2x,
that there's a guy on van now. He has to.
he does
Oh,
see his head. He does
keeps
have.
ahead.
Will he take the shot? I don't know. Oh, he does
Yeah,
get the
there
spray
he goes.
through the carpet. Randy coming out with the support on B.
Randy actually doing a really good job here. He's starting to take over on some kills, playing that dark window position and trading his teammates. Looks like Strafe is starting to get more of a hold on the match. They look like they're playing more confidently.
Thank you everybody who's just joining DGL with the raid. We are currently 6-7 Strafe versus TAW after we had a 45 come out from TAW from the first half, winning 6v4 as they pick up their 5th coming out of half. We have a closer match coming now. Looks like Strafe is starting to get some things together as they have the stronger side now. But TAW is still putting up a fight as we see Myson with 25 kills. As we have ourselves a good game here.
Yeah, this game actually started off in a 4v5. So, those of you who weren't there for that, TAW did a really great job in that 4v5. Honestly, just sticking through it so their teammate could arrive.
Randy.
Not getting taken down by Randy early.
Boy, hops in apps as much as he can. Does avoid the nade. Or actually hops into a whole room. I'm sorry, by Belk. As you know, Shell is a street.
Strafe finding himself in a quick 5v3. Good for them.
Dankster.
And another kill.
Another kill on
5v2.
Randy.
Barely any shots fired from TAW this round. Strafe just dominating here.
Does Horse hear the door? Looks like he did hear it and he's calling it out. By the way, he's not moving. He does hear the footsteps. Will he frag Dankster any second now? If he opens this door, it is an easy
5v1
kill.
here. Horse just sitting here.
Just staring at the door. Oh, pops through, does get Dankster. Making the move, but we see Juicebox back here. Will he adjust for him to come down the stairs? Or will he come up? He has to be quiet though, or he will be heard.
He's going back to look for B.
Do not sleep on Eye of Horus in this 1v4 situation.
Horus been getting a lot of clutch kills here in this game, so who knows?
Horus getting time from Juicebox, crouching instead of proning on the stairs. It was surprising to see.
Trying to make his name Crouchbox.
Juicebox told me the other day he has 19 hours prone in this game, so that man is known to be laying down. As you see him crouch, it is a change of pace, but it worked for him as he gets a kill, tying the game up 7-7 as we are first to 11, in case there are any new people here.
Myson still dominating the scoreboard, although he has slowed down on this Insurgent side. 25 kills though, that's still an impressive number, and I'm sure it's only going to go higher.
We're going to watch Randy, who has been getting a lot of kills early on and continues throughout the map, providing support on B. Let's see what this man's secret is as we're going to watch him. Is he pushing dark? He does have that 2x EBR, I believe. So it does do damage. As he looks like he peeks dark window off the bat with the slide. Not knowing they are all into abs, they might see his muzzle.
And losing the fight to Boy. Boy doing a great job this game as well.
Juicebox does get the frag A street, so it finally prevails after all these rounds.
He's actually going to get up and go to C, finally.
So he
But
was called out. Boy.
Looks like they're looking to stop this.
Oh, he pulls back.
Oh, never mind.
Looks like they don't think it's worth it as they are looking for B. 808 getting the frag on a Boy. We are in a 2v5, or 3v5, I'm sorry, for TAW. Muzzle pushing up is being very loud. Does get fragged by Dankster. As you see, MySun getting onto A. Winning versus Shell, which we see them have a lot of 1v1s.
Doing a great job of just getting the heck out of there and going to A.
So like I said, they might double cap A or they might support it from A Street, as they are already half cap. Both plays
One of the guys
would
for
work.
B at Strafe needs to either help spawn trap or help kill the guys at A. But I'm not sure if they know that two guys were there.
So Juicebox gets the cap as he's going to be in a position to spawn trap, which is always a fun thing to do. So Juicebox hiding right behind the cement as he hears the guy coming. Let's see if he gets this guy here, which he does get the easy shot in the muzzle. He should know there are at least two more coming. He sees the head, does not have the angle. Repeaks, gets in a better position, using his ears now, which will be his best asset, as we see Boy pushing right onto C. Does get fragged by Juice. Juice has 1v2 so far. Can Juicebox 1v3? Knows he's stalemate. He has not repositioned since the kill.
Randy got the
risky.
kill on A.
Here's the nade.
Map in the meantime.
Does get the frag.
Great play here. Great play from Juicebox. He finally stood up and left that position on the street and
Pushing
actually did something extremely effective for his team.
Taking the fastball and nade to the face as he pushes through and kills the guy laying down. Big round out of Juicebox as they finally have a lead in this game. 8-7.
I know we didn't catch it, but on the other side of the map during that, Randy did a great job of flanking on A and getting that A pick in 1v1. It was risky, but it paid off and made it
possible
in a really bad situation. Yeah.
So let's see if Strafe can continue to play well, as they still need 3 more wins for TAW. So as we see TAW doing a 2-2 split with one C Street, and we see Shell.
I saw him getting an early pick with that SVD through arches. It's a really big play for them. Puts them in a big advantage.
Thanks for getting the frag on the horse. We have a 4v4 with Thanks for hanging around apps. We see more shots coming out of Randy, I believe. Shell picking out Muzzle A Street from the sandbags.
We're back in a 4v3 already. TAW gave up their advantage. They got the early pick and were too aggressive afterwards.
Randy getting the pick on a Boy. We have a 2v4. Can MySun push A Street successfully to get a res for his team? We'll see if Strafe communicates and has somebody watch it.
But they're committing to supporting their B player. Not a bad move.
No, not at all. MySun hears the gun.
Doesn't
Doesn't see the foot.
He doesn't see his feet. Oh, now he sees it.
He doesn't see it. What? MySun.
MySun. How does he? Okay,
I assume his teammates were yelling at him or something. Does get the double flag. The no scope SVD out of MySun for his 29th kill. Boy, it does get fragged Dankster as he's just walking around Bell.
Juicebox back in his spot on the street. He needs to go get on B, and Dankster needs to stay where he is.
They have B at 60%, but that has, for some reason, they are not hopping on it. Juicebox still watching.
1v1s again.
Dankster might get flanked here if he's does not reposition, which is hard to do. He's going to hear that prone. Facepalm will get the frag here onto Dankster, which he does, so they should have called. They might have a lack of knowledge of kills.
Not a terrible play here by Juicebox, though, going to C instead of fighting him at B.
Yeah,
he's going to get this cap way before. He needs to go, though. He needs to go.
Yeah, he's clearing.
They should know that Facepalm is on the objective. They probably told him now.
So he will get the cap before.
Will get this cap before, yep.
So
and this forces Facepalm to leave. He's not going to be able to get this cap and go to A. He's going to have to go to A now. Yep, that's what's going to happen. Juicebox is going to get this frag, or this cap, and Strafe should honestly just bypass A and go straight to B and get the cap.
Agreed. So Juicebox has been seen.
Maybe they can stalemate him a little bit.
To spawn camp very well from C if that comes to terms again, but we'll see because they're going to have time to rush here as Juicebox get the cap. We're going to watch Strafe as they rush. Actually, we're going to watch Facepalm to see if he can hold it because he has a
Juicebox
1v4.
going back to B. This is actually a very smart play as well. Strafe can just try to block on A and all Juicebox and yeah, they get the
He must have saw his feet hanging out. That was an interesting spot at a Facepalm. I've never seen somebody hanging there before. But Strafe getting the wall bang on the top shelf on A in the front. As we see Juicebox, as Vapor said, rotate back to B. So good communication in the end there, as it seems they are talking it through. As we have a 9-7. MySun almost with a 30 bomb, despite those 2 assists.
I want to watch him again and see if he goes for that early pick on the Dark Window player again, because that's a really important pick if he can get it consistently.
It is. So we're gonna peek the mice on here to see what he does from the start.
We'll see if TAW runs the same setup or if they make an adjustment here. Looks similar to what they've been doing. They're actually a little heavier on C side this time rather than A side.
Ooh, my son rotating back to Cafe. Strafe looks like they are keeping the setup. Shell in no man's land on that balcony for the AC street.
There are 4 players on the C side of the map.
Dankster making a lot of noise. Look at the frag in the face bomb with a click flick. Making a lot of noise for B. We'll get picked by the Cubby guy. I have Horus as we're in a 4v4. Shell needs to be fast or his team is going to be in trouble unless they did not get any picks. Juicebox laying down. 2 frags coming out. Randy getting boy. My son refragging on to Randy as we have a 2v3.
This was a good adjustment from TAW. They put Strafe in a really bad position. But Shell might get this pick on my son if he drops down here.
Muzzle here's Juicebox, but he fake.
And he does. This puts Shell in a really good position to flank, but Juicebox he's just sitting on that street, effectively baiting his team. He's got to move here. He should have been trying to kill these B players before they even stepped on.
Shell was heard as we see the... Oh, he doesn't see the 2x limiting his vision as he's fragged by Muzzle on top of that tent there.
And this is going to be really hard for Juicebox as he was just straight up too slow. Took him too long to get here. Decides to just prone after missing the jump a couple times.
Calling it quits, hole in the angle. Let's see if it pays off. He might eat a frag grenade. There it is. That's it takes damage rate. Gets 1 kill.
And he's
gets 2
get
kills.
2 picks.
Oh, doesn't get picked through the door, which was not shut from boy. So solid round out of TAW. Agreed. How did he survive that nade?
Looks good, man.
And I should mute all those guys before I hear something we shouldn't.
We're gonna double mute both players. As we have a 9-8.
No, why am I like?
Becoming a really good game here.
This might actually go overtime, which
I was like.
I'm sure Vapor knows the rules for overtime in case that happens.
Yeah, in overtime, it'll be a best of 6, or the first one to win 4 rounds will win, and you play 3-round halves. So it's basically just the same thing you did at the beginning, but miniature. So you could have an infinite amount of overtimes if teams keep trading 3 and 3 rounds.
What?
But in an overtime game, it's the first to 4 wins will get the win for the match.
We might be here for a while with a close game if no team prevails. As we see TAW mirroring their last setup, which won them around. This is Dankster getting a frag on a Muzzle.
Let's see if Dankster overcommits and dies again here, because that's what happened last time.
If Dankster can stay quiet after getting the frag, he will be deadly. Throws a solid nade on a boy. Will boy see it? Boy does not see the nade. Gets the frag as we see Facepalm pick up Shell. We are in a 3v3. Juicebox. Dankster spraying for his life as Five Horse retreats down to Cubby. We have my son playing it very quiet. Oh, we're in a 4v2 here. As the my son being very quiet under Cafe. It looks like yes. As he's looking for any Strafe members. Nobody on B yet. We see somebody prone back there. I'm gonna take a random guess. It is Juicebox. But we're gonna Dankster getting the frag. Or Randy getting the frag onto Horus with the assist from Dankster as we see my son in a 1v4 has to make the move. Doesn't have to, but
here. Or he's actually gonna probably creep on the stairs and look for the support players. But
808 in that head camp as we have a little revenge kill from earlier with the head camp from my son getting killed from 808 on Belk in the same spot.
Dankster staying alive in apps helped Strafe a lot there because my son wasn't allowed to move around Cafe.
It did, especially with that frag onto Boy, who wasn't able to move out of the way in time. We are on match point for Strafe as TAW needs 3 big ones. 2 to put in overtime. I take that back. And then 1 for Strafe.
Yeah, it's weird. Strafe seems to be playing a lot better in the 5v5 than they did in the 5v4.
Agreed.
Unless their insurgent side was just really weak. That's the only other explanation.
It seems the 5v5 from TAW has thrown them a little out of sync. Maybe readjusting, having an extra player, maybe the comms get a little mixed up. But nonetheless, we have a very close game, which is really interesting to see. 808 throwing their early frag onto the cross arch, which we won't see anybody getting picked up. We see Dankster pushing the same spot onto Apps again, which has been successful, but
Cubby's looking for him down there.
we see Muzzle, who will have a corner peek in battle here. Randy getting the frag on the boy. Dangster out-fragging Muzzle. Can Dangster play it slow and not get
He needs to
hurt?
not overextend again here. He should have learned from last round that if he stays alive, they're in a much better place.
They did
But
not hear.
he's
You go.
overdoing it.
They did not hear my
and
son.
it works out for him.
Open the door. My son, will he knife him? What will he do? As he beats Randy in the face on the back of the head with his gun. Does dodge a couple bullets. They are about to cap B as it will spawn in. Randy back there. As we see my son starting on A. We'll see if Randy can win.
5v1 here for match point.
My son getting the frag on the Randy. We're in a 4v1. Shell going to see just for a little insurance in case things go wrong. My son has to reload as he gets the frag on the juice box. Will they take advantage of those?
This is probably his last mag here.
Dangster doesn't see him through the thing, obviously.
Uh-oh.
As he whiffs the nade, actually. Not the best. As he's losing steps off. They know he's off. 808 getting the frag onto my son to end the game for them as he lean peeks through the pillars.
That was a very valiant effort.
Holy cow, that was...
Starting out with a 4v5.
That
really
was
impressive from Taw there, but Strafe ended up pulling it out in the end.
That was a crazy match as we see my son top fragging with 33 kills in a DGL match. That might be the high for this season, as that was a hell of a ringer. And definitely
Yeah.
putting Strafe on their toes the entire match. Alright, I would not end the stream this week. I will let it finish out before I close down the stream, everyone. We're gonna... holy
Yeah.
cow, that was probably the best
That
match
was a
we've
great
seen
match.
all season. That really was. Thanks
Yeah.
everybody for tuning in. Thanks for the raid DGL. Thanks Stuff Shark for tuning in. I'm sure we'll be doing more Vapor and I shellcasting.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. We're trying to work on it, get better at it. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. Great plays out of everybody. Again, my son top fragging. We would hang out for a couple minutes, let the delay do its work, play some music until then. Other than that, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will see you next time.
All right, have a great night.